What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we are jumping back into Batman Santa Claus, Silent Night, issue number 2. In this limited series, what we had seen so far is Batman and Santa teaming up together to take down Krampus. But as we learn about the mythology, we learn that Santa and Krampus, they spent many years together. Many years trying to make this holiday something great, but also in their own way, kind of playing sheriff, trying to teach morality in a more primitive time. But something has happened to Krampus. Once a friend to Santa, he is releasing monsters upon the world. He plans to end Christmas once and for all. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so our story starts us off with Santa Claus taking Zatanna away. After being covered in some green goo, we have found her incapacitated. Santa magically whisking them away, leaving behind nothing more than a box. This is what picks us up with Krampus. Now Krampus, he is observing everything that is transpiring. His goal was to make them scared. That's exactly what he has been after. That is what he thrives for. But here in this space where he finds himself, there are others with him. These creatures speaking to him, telling him to free the rest, to destroy the spirit of this stolen day. But Krampus is doing this so that the voices in his head will go away. Krampus is being manipulated. Somebody is directing his actions. This is what drops us down into the Batcave. Barbara, Dick, Damian, and Bruce are all here. They're opening up this box. Nobody was really sure what this box was at first, but upon opening up, what we see is that this is a memory. The days when Santa and Krampus would walk the streets together. Krampus would scare the children that would attempt to hurt other people or steal others' belongings. The kids that were doing bad, he would scoop them up and throw them into his bag. He would pretend like he was going to take these kids back home and eat them. And this is where Santa would come in. He would make it seem like Krampus has lost control, that eating kids was never part of the deal. And through this display of theater, Santa would convince Krampus to let the children go, as long as the children swore they would never do anything again. And through this fear, it worked. Krampus had ideas of trying to do this with the parents, but Santa believed that they were too set in their ways, that it had to be done with the youths, and that hopefully one day, there would be no use for the stick. The carrot would be more than sufficient, and from chaos came order. As it picks us up many years later, we see Krampus walking down the street with Santa. But at this point, nobody is afraid of Krampus anymore. This is where the present-day Santa kind of magically teleports in. He gave them these memories because he didn't want to retell it, letting them know that Zatanna is fine and she is healing up. Looking upon this memory of his past, he now knows that he didn't realize how much it hurt Krampus not to be feared. When some children go missing, Santa goes looking and he finds Krampus. Krampus saying that he ate all of the children. Now, if you remember, these two had been hunting monsters for many years. No longer having access to the Asgardian wilds, they trapped them in the space between realms. They did this using touchstones. With Santa feeling he had no other option, Krampus was pushed too far. No longer feared, he did the extreme and he actually ate children. And so Santa banished him away. It didn't take long for Santa to recognize his mistake, because the children he said that he ate, he had only hidden away. He was trying to make the other children fear him. When Santa recognized his terrible mistake, he raced back to try and find Krampus, but he was already gone. He had searched for years among all of those outcasts, but he never heard Krampus's laugh again. This is when Barbara Gordon brings up the Nightmare Realms. If you guys remember from Night Terrors, which means this is all connected to Earth Zero. But in Night Terrors, the borders of reality, they were torn, with the veil being extremely thin. This gave Krampus the opportunity to come through. This is what takes us to Bloodhaven 12 hours later. We pick up with the flock of the Drog. As the sun gets ready to go away, they are ready to take off and they are ready to spread some terror. But when one of their flock come flying in, they're not really sure who this is. The screech sounding odd, sounding different. throwing an explosive that causes a big commotion. We learn that this is Miss Martian. She has come in as the distraction, getting the attention of the flock and then leading them in a direction where they can get shot out of the sky, because waiting nearby is Green Arrow, with Arrow using every shot to make sure that none of these things touch Miss Martian. As the flock gathers up, as they cluster together, that is when Black Canary lets out her screech, and we see the flock fall from the sky. Green Arrow wasting no time, he shoots as many arrows as fast as he can. As they fall, he pierces them through the chest. This is when we hop over to the moors of Scotland, a voice commanding Krampus to come and release some creatures, hoping that this would make the voices go away, hoping that his work would be done. It tells him that when these creatures flee, you release the giants, and then Krampus is free to run and scare as he pleases, picking back up with our heroes. As they have taken out most of the flock, that is when a red streak comes flying across the sky. Smashing down on the ground, we have the arrival of Superman. Batman, knowing that he would hear about this, and he tells Batman, "You never said that you knew Santa Claus." And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. So far, I really am enjoying this story. It's a lot of fun. I like the mythology that they're building here, that Krampus and Santa had worked together, that Krampus wasn't actually ever eating children. This was a story that they told to make the children act good, Santa giving the good kids presents. Thus, in turn, the idea is making a better society through this. Obviously, things are not that simple, but it's a fun concept. But Krampus missed being feared. It was something that he needed. And when the children stopped fearing him, he went down the only avenue he believed would make them fear him, to make the other children believe that he ate some kids. Obviously, this wasn't the case. He was just trying to strike fear into their hearts. Now, we could argue that that's not necessarily the right thing to do, but when we're talking in the regards of Krampus, on how their little system worked, because at the end of the day, Krampus is a monster, and he feeds off of fear, but it's portraying him not necessarily as some monstrous creature that would eat children, like the realities Krampus mythology would have you believe. He was more of a monster that is a trickster, at least inside the DC realmscape. But now we must wonder, what is talking to him? What is this voice inside of his head that is trying to command him, that is trying to lead him, that is trying to cause chaos on Christmas? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that is going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything that is going on with Batman and Santa. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. If you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.